Now, just like the iPhone 12 and 14, the iPhone 13 is a phone that I will recommend because it's so similar to the iPhone 15. You're getting the same experience all across the board. The display, the camera, the software, the battery, and the only thing that's different on the iPhone 15 is the dynamic island notch and the USB-C port. And as much as I like the iPhone 13, I will tell you guys that if you're looking for a phone like it, your best bet is finding the best deal between the iPhone 13, 12, and 14 because like I said before, they all pretty much give you the exact same experience. And even though I think that the iPhone 13 is a good phone and is like many other phones, I still wanted to share my experience with you guys and help you decide if it's worth buying in 2024. Now, the battery on the iPhone 13 is very comparable to the iPhone 15. I was pretty much getting the exact same results with the same usage, and I rarely use power saving mode. Most of the time, I was putting a ton of hours on it using social media. I don't do too much gaming, but I did shoot some videos on my channel with it, and by the end of the day, there was a 70% chance that it will be on 1%. And despite my uncertainty on whether or not it will last, I still never felt the need to use power saving mode or try any other ways to make it last longer. But there were also days where I was getting damn near the same amount of usage, and I would end my day at 10%. So again, I would say that the iPhone 13's battery was painfully average. Day to day, I'm getting 4 to 6 hours of screen time a day. And if you are someone who uses your phone a little less and gets around 3 to 4 hours, you're definitely going to last all day. The charging on the 13 wasn't the fastest, but it still got the job done. I would charge overnight, and during the day, it would take a little over an hour for it to get to 100%. And overall, the iPhone 13 had a pretty average battery, average charging speeds, nice longevity, and pretty okay power saving capabilities. Now, looking at the design of the iPhone 13 and how it's holding up, it's definitely been one of my favorite designs all across the board. It feels the exact same as the iPhone 15 minus the matte back and dynamic island notch. And something that I like to emphasize is the fact that all the base model iPhones feel the same. The 12, 13, 14, and 15 don't feel that much different in terms of overall aesthetic and quality. The boxy bills smoothed out by the round edges created a nice balance. And again, it doesn't have matte, so not only is it easy to clean, but it will also always look brand new. The green color is still resilient after years, and the beauty of the glass back is that it's much easier to hide smudges since they wipe off much easier. Now, looking at weight, the iPhone 13 is the exact same as the iPhone 15. It weighs 174 grams compared to the 15's 171 grams, which is very close. And I think that this added to its comfort when holding the iPhone for a longer period of time. So whether I was on my phone scrolling through social media or playing a power heavy game like Asphalt 9, I never had a complaint about how comfortable it was to do either task. And another benefit to the 13's aesthetic is that since it's very comparable to the iPhone 15, it'll still have that new factor. And yes, this is good, but soon I would like Apple to switch it up because their innovation has been lacking. Over the years, the Pro model iPhones have been looking the exact same, and it's clear to see that everything else is following suit. Now, moving on to display, the iPhone 13 looks just as good as the iPhone 15, extravagant colors, a solid experience, and high quality resolution. The 13 does still have a 60Hz refresh rate though, and this means that the scrolling isn't as smooth as it is on the Pro series of iPhones, but this is better for the 13 since it is at a cheaper price compared to the iPhone 15. The 13's display is made up of ceramic shield. The resistance has been tested since this phone has been dropped on multiple occasions, and it has yet to have a scratch or a crack, so it does hold up very well. The premium look is the best attribute that this display has. The colors pop, the smoothness was apparent, and like most iPhones, it was visually stunning. The brightness is still very good. If you're outside with the iPhone 13, it can reach up to 1200 nits of peak brightness, and I had no problem seeing whether I was in a house or outside. Face ID is still very sharp and accurate. Apple has always been dominating the facial recognition game, and I'm glad to see that they've always kept that consistency throughout the years. Now, the last thing that I wanted to touch on when it comes to the display was just how good it looks when watching content, movies, and videos on social media. The resolution has never disappointed me in the slightest, and I'm glad that the very big display was able to enhance the experience. Now, moving on to camera, the iPhone 13 has given me some of the best photos for a phone of this price. The pictures are extremely identical to the iPhone 15, which is really good since there's less compromises. The camera software continues to push the envelope and make my photos look as realistic as possible. The selfies were still top tier. Different objects in different environments were able to shine. Night mode photos are kind of a step down and not really impressive to me, but they got the job done. And my biggest concern was the consistency of the software. Sometimes the photos look really good, and other times it's too dark. No in between. Zoom photos are top notch as well. There aren't that many modes to choose from, but you can always use digital zoom, and this works just fine if you parked your car and you need to see the signs from far away. Selfies on the 13 were still among the best in the smartphone market. I loved how it handles my skin tone. I love how it looks realistic while adjusting little details, and I still believe that this is one of the best phones in terms of selfies. Videos on the iPhone 13 are the best in its price range. The autofocus, the many different modes, impressive stabilization, and quality was very consistent, which made me want to shoot videos on it. You can shoot up to 4K, 4K. You can also shoot up to 60 frames per second. You can go into cinematic mode, slow-mo, and you can edit your videos, which is just as impressive. The stabilization was solid, pans were smooth along with brightness and contrast, and the smoothness was all top tier. And I want to give you guys some random footage that I was able to capture with my iPhone 13. And alright you guys, that's it for my review on the iPhone 13. It's a phone that I would prefer to get over the iPhone 15 since you're getting the exact same experience for a fraction of the price. The 13 has a very identical display, build quality, camera, software, and I can go on and on with how much these phones are compatible, except the price. And let me know down in the comments you guys, do you think that the iPhone 13 is of better value than the iPhone 15? Let me know down below. And if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Peace.